Okay, so what we saw in the previous video was that an event having a probability of 0 doesn't mean it is impossible. And in this video, we'll give an example of this that is hopefully more familiar and demonstrates it a little more concretely and with some numbers in it. Okay, so we've placed a little machine up the top there, so that little white thing you see, and its job is to shoot out a coin that could land on either heads or tails with a 50-50 chance of each. So it pretty much just flips fair coins for us. Okay, and so we could end up with some arbitrarily long sequence of heads and tails if we let this machine run presumably forever, which we can imagine in maths, even if that's impossible in real life. And what we're going to think about is if we have infinite time to keep on pumping out these coins over and over again forever. Alright, the question we'll ask here is, what is the probability that if we start doing this right now, tails never appears? Okay, so our first flip has to be heads. That chance is of course 1/2, so 0.5. Then if you want 2 heads in a row, right, that's 1/2 times another 1/2, so that's 1/4. Then 3 heads in a row will be 1/2 cubed, which is 1/8, and so on and so forth. Now remember, we're going to imagine doing this forever, and we're asking for the chance of getting no tails at all. So a pure sequence of heads, and it's like heads infinitely many times forever. That means we want to sort of multiply a half by itself over and over and over again forever. Or to make this more precise, we'd just take a half maybe to the power of x and then limit the x to infinity. But that's when we're forced to assign a probability of 0 to this event, because a half to the x as x goes to infinity is equal to 0, the limit equals 0. Okay, but clearly the sequence of all heads is truly a possibility. But once again, when things go infinite to this extent, some of our intuitions do fall apart. Okay, so that's I think a case of a concrete example of something having 0 probability, but being well and truly part of the set of possible events. Okay, that's pretty much all we have for you in this video, but something to think about on your own is the link between this coin machine spitting out infinitely many coins and the whole continuous nature of the bird problem we started with. Because honestly, the coin setup feels quite discrete. Okay, coins have 2 possibilities, and we are listing all of those outcomes: heads, heads, tails, heads, 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 whatever it is, right? So what is the link between this setup and a continuous interval? Okay, now I'm going to leave a bit of a sketch in the description, but I'd like you to go away and think about that, and I'll do that if I were you. But that's all for now, so I'll see you around. Bye.